From DS Media Studios in Tema, Ghana, this is Two Pesewas. Two Pesewas is a weekly podcast where we cover a range of topics, from buzzing media headlines to music to highlights from the week. Each episode is co-hosted by myself, Peaches, and Eddie. Welcome to episode 2. We're happy that you could join us again.
Yay.
Before we get into it, we just want to say that we're happy that you guys listen to us. We're happy for the feedback we've gotten so far, and we're excited going forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything. It's been good. It's been good. Please listen. Keep listening. Eddie, how do you feel being a veteran in the podcast?
A veteran of
the podcasting industry.
I don't know. We'll see about that. All right. So then let's get into it. So in the news, DVLA. I have trust issues with DVLA.
Have they done some new?
Yes,
rubbish?
they are always doing something. So in the news, apparently they're issuing new smart driver's licenses.
What makes them smart?
You listen, I need to give you a backstory
Okay,
to
please, yes.
DVLA. Like I said, I have trust issues with DVLA. I got my license in 1998. I hope I'm not revealing how old I am, but anyway, that doesn't matter.
You were 18 at the time.
Oh my God, stop saying things like that. I wasn't 18, I was like 14. Anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, so I got my license in 98. I left the country, I think, in about 2000. And I got back in 2014. Now, I had lost my license by then. So I went to DVLA and I said, you know what, I've lost my license. Can you help me find the number so that I can just get a new one? The stress that these people made me go through. They sent me to an office where they had like books and books and books of stuff written in there. And I had to go through each and every book to find my number.
Now, here's my question. Did you give them some nokofio?
No, in the beginning, I was like, no way. There's no way I'm doing that.
That's why they sent you to the records room.
It was terrible. Luckily, I was able to find out the year I got the license, and I thought that was the end of my woes. No, they told me to come back in, I think 6 months. I went there. They said, "Oh, the license is not ready. You need to come back. Our machines, or so I think 6 months, a year. The machines are not working. Blah blah blah. You come back." So I go. I think after a year later, I go back and they said, "Oh, the machines are still not working, but now we need to capture your details again." So when I saw this news article, I was like, new driver's license. It means the license that I haven't received yet is not even going to be issued. Probably.
That's how you need to capture your details.
Exactly. I have to go through the whole process, it's very annoying. Like I said, DVLA, you and me, we're not friends, so yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. So that's in the news. Yeah, DVLA.
Did they specify what is going to make the card smart this time?
Well, they said they would capture your details, and there's going to be, I think, a SIM, some sort of a card. I know. We like to talk big, like, oh, this is what we're going to do. We'll be able to catch criminals, those people driving on the road recklessly, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's just blah, blah,
if
blah.
they say so. I mean, it's good. It would be good if it actually works.
Yeah. Emphasis on would be. But at the end of the day, somebody got some contract, somebody has chopped some money, and the cards are going to be useless. You mark this on the wall somewhere. Yeah, so that's it really for my bit.
Okay, so for me in the news, it's a bit random. It's not even about Ghana per se, but so I don't know if you heard about the whole Salvatore Mundi painting.
Yes, the 400 something million.
Not 40, honey. 400. Okay, so Salvatore Mundi is basically dubbed the last Da Vinci painting,
right.
Because it's the only one of his paintings that isn't already in a museum and it's in a private collection. Okay. So Christie's had it on auction and it's caused a huge stir. Now,
I actually saw a short clip on that this morning on CNN when they were auctioning the actual auction was taking place.
So I actually started paying attention to it like last week. So it wasn't even hadn't been auctioned yet, but they were talking about how they think it could get up to $200 million at the time. And what stood out to me was something that was in the New York Times article about it. Right. But just before I get to that, so finally it sold, and it sold for $450 million,
so ridiculous.
Which has way exceeded any, it's big. Definitely, it's now the most expensive painting ever.
Yeah.
My first question is, who bought it? Can he be my friend?
He feels how they make friends.
Does he have brothers?
I don't think he wants to be known. Probably
$500 million on
for a
one painting. What a world!
Painting. Is it that? Can't be that good. I don't know.
So anyway, what I really wanted to talk about was, so they were interviewing people because they had it on display before the auction, and like about, they said thousands of people went just to look at it and whatever.
Right.
And so they interviewed one lady, and she was saying how when she saw it, she just had this really intense emotional reaction. She burst into tears, whatever. And they were saying it's called Stendhal syndrome. Right. So Stendhal syndrome has come up in my life 2 times before.
Oh, tell me about it.
I'm about to. So the first one, I really remember, I was watching some behind the scenes about Rihanna's Umbrella video, okay? And so one of her assistants, I don't know if you remember what that video looks like, but there's one bit of it where she's covered in gold paint. And her assistant was saying how when she came out, she looked so beautiful and everything that she just started crying. And I was like, is it ever that serious?
That's serious, exactly.
But then I was thinking, listen, this very Christmas, when I put on my Sunday best church service dress and nobody starts crying in my friend circle, I am reassessing my life because somebody needs to start crying about how beautiful
and
I
just
look.
Look at you. You can't force these things, Don't force it. Let it come naturally.
Now, the other thing is that after of course I rubbished at that time and everything, but now when I read this lady's thing, I just kept quiet because I've actually experienced Stendhal syndrome myself.
Right.
I went to, this is a couple of years ago, 2000 and something. So I was in England at the time visiting my grandmother, and I went into Bristol Cathedral.
Right.
And I don't know what happened at Inam. The minute I stepped in that place, I started crying.
Yes, churches can do that to you. Yeah.
I mean, it's huge, okay? And like the architect, if you can go look it up, you'll know what I'm saying.
Right.
And for the first time in my entire life, I think I felt like I was on hallowed ground, okay? Because the cathedral was built in like 11 something. And it's like you're feeling hundreds of years worth of, I don't know.
History and all that, yeah.
Listen, I cried the entire time I was in there. I cried on the way home. I don't know what came over.
That's serious.
And people were looking at me like, yeah. I think they were used to
I showed you like, this is what happens.
This happens all the time, So yeah, Stendhal syndrome, it's like a real thing apparently. Okay. And so that's me in the news.
Right.
Really, really expensive paintings and people losing their minds when they see them.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good one.
Okay.
Right.
So moving on. Music of the week. Okay. So mine, I'm actually sticking to the technical whatever and making it a song of the week for once.
Same here.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so my song of the week is Miniwa. It is, oh my God, my tree is so dadabilish.
It's all right.
Miniwa. Yes, it's by Manifest. Right. And yeah, it features King Promise. And it was produced by Reynolds the Gentleman. Now, I'm going to do a couple of offshoots from this. Now, of course, a lot of people know Manifest right now. Yes. He's having an amazing stretch here. His album, Nowhere Cool, came out last year.
It was pretty good, that the album.
It was
it
was really good. This year, he's released Be My Woman, I think is what's, his latest single.
Right.
The video is, I think he won some award for the video. Like he made it into a short film or something. Yeah.
I need to check that out. Yeah.
And then, of course, King Promise is also having an amazing stretch there. Do you know King Promise?
I've never heard of King Promise.
No, he's good. Okay, so he had, did you hear that song Double Trouble? With Sarkodie?
No.
So there was Double Trouble. Then this year he had a song called Oh Yeah. Oh yeah. And then he has a song with Bona called I think it's Bona's song featuring him, My Girl.
Okay.
And now, I mean, really, really, really nice pop Afro pop music, like super cool stuff. Right. So check him out.
I definitely will. A lot of things I need to do.
And then finally Reynolds now. So I actually went to Reynolds. So Reynolds the Gentleman had an album, or I guess it's an EP listening session.
Okay.
And I went, first of all, I didn't actually know he produced. I know he's a singer and everything. He's also on VI Music. Okay. So shout outs to them. And, amazing vocals and everything. And then it turns out that he produced like all his music as well. He produced Miniwa.
Right.
So we're talking multi-talented stuff here. And when that, just similar to like how I was talking about Hugh's mixtape last time. Yes. This is just really, really good. So look out for it. It should be out, I think, in a month's time or something. Okay. So for anyone, check all this stuff. Really good stuff coming out of Ghana. I'm so impressed. So blown away. Yeah.
So I'll definitely check that out. Yeah. So my song of the week is a bit of a departure from Ghana.
Hello. Which country are we off to?
Today we're in America. So my song of the week is a song called Summertime by somebody called Citizen Cope.
What?
I know, like Citizen Cope.
Do you know? I actually know who Citizen Cope
really?
is.
Okay.
From like back in the day when I was like super into alt.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So,
okay.
Right. So on Monday, I think Monday morning or Tuesday morning, Lebu sent me a link. So I clicked on the link. I listened to the song called Summertime. And for me, it was really strange because I really don't like songs that are in the genre of rock. So for me, it was like, am I really gonna like this? But I listened, and it was really, really, really nice. And it was sort of not really hard rock. It's sort of like a bluesy, soulful kind of rock. So it was really, really nice to listen to. And I ended up listening to the whole album twice.
Do you have the album name? Do you know?
The album is called One Lovely Day. I think this is from 2012. Okay. So yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a listen. Even if you're not into rock or alternative kind of, you listen to it. It's like really, really mellow, soulful. You should listen. It's a good one. Definitely a good one.
So Miniwa and Summertime by Citizen Cope.
Exactly. Okay. Right. So moving on, we're going to What the F? Obinim.
Oh my God.
Obinim.
Jesus.
Obinim the panty bender. Stop it. Obinim
panty and bra.
The changer of people into animals. Obinim.
And
Stop
himself.
It.
Angel Obinim, aka Snake.
God. Oh, Snake Man. So, my What the F this week is Obinim. Now, Obinim, if you don't know Obinim is the pastor or the head of this church. I'm not going to mention the church. It's like a plug for him. I'm not going to do that. So some church in Tema here.
You're a savage today.
No.
No free plugs.
So he recently asked his congregation to bring their undergarments, bras, panties, so that he can deliver them, deliverance. So they brought them, he lit a fire, and it was sort of like chanting around the bonfire kind of situation. And I'm just asking myself, so what are the kinds of people who actually follow a person like Obinim? Are they people who don't have brains? Are they people who are just gullible? Or are they people who are just looking for quick fixes to their problems? Like, I don't understand it. And the sad thing is, like, we like to ridicule and make fun of it, but at the end of the day, these are Ghanaians. These are people you might know. These are people you might put in high places to do some thinking for us, and it's a problem. So if you're following Obinim, please.
I just feel like I don't know. Does it fall under some kind of I don't know what word am I looking for? Oppression or what? Can you not go, and don't churches have to submit themselves to some kind of standards or whatever?
Do you know what I think? I think that people don't want to solve their problems themselves. They're looking for somebody to tell them, oh, bring your money to church, or throw your panties at me, and and then I will solve your problem. And they're like, oh, this is easy. I don't need to suffer. Yeah, I don't need to suffer to do well. Like, no. How do you justify a pastor saying that and you're actually okay with it?
I want to know what verses he used to.
I'm sure he creates his own verses. Obinim verse 1, chapter 2.
It's terrible. Like I said, terrible. People are right now, all you've done is burnt your good bra and panties.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't.
Which shouldn't be. So Obinim, stop it.
Really?
I just pray that he doesn't turn me into a bat or a snake or something.
And appear here.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'd actually be impressed. Then I'd be like, maybe you actually can do something. Come here, Obinim. I'm looking for you. Come as a bat. We're waiting for you.
Ridiculous. So yeah, that's my what the F. Obinim,
So my what the F. I'm literally still recovering from this story, and interestingly enough, it's sort of kind of church related as well. Mm-hmm. So my friend played me the audio. This lady. So let me just start how she said it. Yeah. She said she's married to a pastor of a very prominent church.
Right.
She didn't want to say the name of the church or the name of her husband either, because she's like, it's immediately recognizable. Wow, okay. And so she's an osofumame, prayer warrior, all that stuff. Yeah. Wholesome, as she says, a decent person, the usual spiel. So she was saying that after a number of years of marriage, her husband came one day and said he wants to switch it up in the bedroom. And so he's no longer interested in just, the traditional, let's just call it traditional. He wants to have some backdoor action to their repertoire. Okay. Now she said that she's not used to this mess, she wasn't really interested, but because she wanted to keep him happy and keep their marriage, she agreed. Okay. All right. So they started doing this thing, and then it got to a point where he said he wasn't at all interested in going from the front. He only wanted to have it from the back. Wow.
Okay.
So she's like, now it was becoming a problem. She was actually constantly in pain. Wow. She couldn't sit down at work anymore. And so she started feeling like something was actually wrong, Right. And then she was like, she was embarrassed to tell anyone because of who her husband is. Yeah, she's like, she didn't want to go to the hospital because, again, they know her. So if you go there and say you're having, really bad problems with your, butt area, they're going to know, okay, that means your husband. You're right. And so she was like, she was really, and then she was crying saying this. Oh. No, I mean, she was really, really distraught, and she was saying how, but her marriage, and he said if she doesn't do it, he's going to leave her.
Oh, can you imagine? That's not being compassionate at all.
Can you imagine?
A man of God.
And I'm like, obviously, I mean, from the way she was describing it, he wasn't taking his time. Oh. He wasn't using any lubrication or anything like that. I think he was just, that's abusing the woman. Okay.
That's not right.
So now, 5 months of this torture, then the man comes and says that he'd like them to bring other women into the bedroom, and he wants to have 2 other girls come join them. And then she's like, she's like, she can't do this. She's not going to do this, enough is enough. So now the reason why she came, I think it was like some Asempa FM or something show, because apparently this pastor now said, well, he's leaving her. And she's like, after everything I've done, you've destroyed my body, you've destroyed my mind. And she was weeping, and then she was like, I mean, but Nawaria, my tree is horrible, so please bear me. Nawaria bibina ehiano.
That's what she said.
That's what she said.
Oh Lord.
And I'm like, sis.
How does it hear her?
Like, is it ever worth all? I mean, and the man is now saying that because you finished doing, being like rough manhandle, basically raped. Remember we were talking about spousal rape last time? Yes, okay. Exactly. So you are literally being abused at home. Like you probably have some sort of fissure or something really bad going on back there. Because if you can't sit down anymore.
That is an issue. That
is a terrible, and you won't go to the hospital. So it's probably just getting worse.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she went ahead with this foursome or whatever it is.
Oh,
and he
did?
Still decided that he's bored and he's
the
done.
Thing is, the bottom line is, I think he doesn't want her anymore, so he's looking for all the reasons, or he just wants to switch it up, and I think he doesn't want her anymore, because he's going to go ahead with this until it gets to a point where she's like, you know what, I can't take it, I'm gone. And he'll be like, yeah, okay, you go, I can do whatever I want to. This is terrible.
And she's like, what should she do? I'm like, what do you mean? What should you should have left him ages ago.
But then of course the church is going to start talking,
right. And marriage, and then she's a wholesome woman and this and that.
Wholesome?
And she's married. I'm like, look, is marriage ever worth all of this? It can't possibly be.
It cannot be.
It can't be.
This is the worst of the worst, like for better for worse, but this is like bottom.
And then I'm like, you see these religious types that keep up this pretense at the pulpit, and you're there for, having foursomes and forcing your wife to have
in Ghana.
In Ghana here, and the way she kept repeating that when you hear the name, you'll know who it like he's well known. identify her voice? I thought about that. Maybe she's one of those people that's just, I'm sure if her friends obviously will know who she is.
I'm sure it will come out. I'm pretty sure it will come out.
And they'll say it's a lie to bring him down, isn't it? Isn't that the usual? Yeah. Or a devil tempted him.
Exactly. Yeah. Blame it on the devil, and then all good.
Touch not a man of God. So those of us who are talking about him, who are we?
Yeah, that's really terrible to hear. That's a really sad story, actually. But she needs to leave him. Sorry, she just needs to go. She just needs to go. Wow. Right.
So yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
thank you for that story.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we should put an end point on there. I can't say too much. I've not been married. I'm not married. But I just, whether you're in whatever relationship you're in, if you feel your gut tells you this is not how things are supposed to be. And I know it's hard, because if you go and tell your family, they'll be like, oh, you just
manage it.
You can't leave your husband now, and this, that, and the fourth, even if he's beating you. Or
exactly. But if you're not happy,
pray over it. Exactly. And especially, I feel like, especially if you're in church, it becomes like they're like, divorce is not.
Yes, they won't accept.
You just pray, come for counseling, and some people can't be changed or don't want to change or whatever. But I feel like, I don't know, use your own, think of yourself. And like I said, Eddie also talked about self-care last time.
Yeah. Think about yourself
practice
sometimes.
Some self-care here. Your marriage is not worth your mental well-being,
and we have only
your physical well-being.
This one life we have to live. Come on, just make it worth it. Don't be struggling and suffering until you die
in silence, and then you come and cry on the radio anonymously.
Why?
No,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah.
Okay, so that was What the F this week, and moving on to finally our two Pesewas. What you got, Eddie?
Right. So again, I'm going to go the serious path a bit,
which is very necessary.
After all the Obinim jokes and things, we need to get a bit serious. So this is just a bit on your health. Really, is we take for granted that we're healthy and things like. The weekend is here. We're going out to eat all sorts of things. We're boozing and sugary drinks and meats. Exactly. We're just going without really thinking that, are we okay? Am I healthy? Listen, I went to check my cholesterol levels about 2 months ago, and I got the shock of my life. My cholesterol levels were ridiculously high. My doctor put me on statins. They were making me feel like, I was going to die. Yeah, exactly. So I actually stopped. I stopped taking the statins and said, you know what, I'm going to take care of myself. I'm just going to watch what I eat, and then hopefully I'll get better. I haven't gone back to check them, but I need to do that. What's my point? My point is that, we feel energetic. We feel like we've got all the strength, but please go do your checkups. Yeah. Go do a yearly checkup. If you're a woman, go to your gynae. If you're a guy, go see a urologist, whatever. Just make sure you're healthy. Some of you have kids. You can't just be walking about. You never know what's going to happen. You don't want to leave your kids here. So please go do your checkups and make sure that you're okay, that you're healthy. So
now I know for some people, cost is always a factor, and then time. But then if it's an annual checkup or even biannual, you can put some little bit aside every month, knowing that is coming.
Right, safe towards it.
Yeah, because some of these things are silent killers: cholesterol, high blood pressure, things that you don't necessarily feel on a day-to-day, but they're there in the background working against you.
Exactly, and then they build up, and at some point you hear, this guy died. He was only 30-something.
And you just don't understand.
And you're like, but he was healthy. Yeah, but he was healthy. No.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of stress around it, so that just makes the problem worse. So please go do your checkups.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Okay, so mine is not funny either. Mine is actually a bit serious this time and slightly controversial. So I hope I don't get in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Stop me, Eddie, if I'm going to. We need the sponsorship. So. Okay, so my two pesewas this week is on the famous, or should I say infamous, adage that boys don't hit girls. Mm-hmm. All right. So I just feel like it's time for us to, one, deconstruct that phrase, and two, update it to something else. Now, I want to make a very clear distinction before I start between what I'm going to talk about and, you know, people that are literally just abusive. Okay, there's, domestic violence or whatever. He can't, because they said I'm male bashing already. Whatever.
Lord.
It's overwhelmingly male that, But you come home and the food is not ready and he knocks you. This is completely different. Those people all belong in prison. Let me just say.
Exactly.
If we catch you, we'll get you in jail.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about how, men are raised or boys are raised, and not only do they say you should never hit a girl, which I agree with. I'm going to get into that more. But that phrase has evolved into there are no circumstances under which a boy should ever hit a girl. Okay. Right. So what I want to say is actually, I feel it's more productive to say that, yes, there actually might be some circumstances where she does deserve to get mollywopped, right? But, however, regardless of whether you are, quote unquote, justified, you still should never touch any woman, right? So let me just get into it a bit more. So, for example, okay, let's say you are in a situation where, because some people are in situations where they have female partners who are very handsy, have temper problems or whatever it is, and want to know she's slapping you in the face or whatever it is. But the thing is, and this is where I'm saying it still applies, you should still never hit her, because the issue then comes up that you as a man, chances are, or a male or a boy or just a male child of any age, chances are your physical strength exceeds hers. Yes, okay. So if she slaps you in the face and you said you're not at that time, the only scenario in which you would be absolutely justified is where, okay, she slapped you and you slapped her with the same exact strength or intensity at which she hit you. Right. But that is almost never the case, right? She'll shove you and then you'll get mad as a man and then you'll punch her in the face. Right. And then guess what? You're going to prison, right? Because I recall that, so one of my uncles, his wife hit him over the head with a frying pan. Whoa. Right? Because she was mad or whatever. They said he was cheating and everything. Okay, so this is a classic example. He had no business doing what he was doing. Oh my God, my mom is going to hear this. She's gonna be so mad. Okay, he had no business doing what he was doing. However, she was absolutely out of line for bashing this man in the head with a frying pan. But if he had said, okay, I'm going to take that frying pan and hit you back in the head, he'd have probably killed her, you see. And nobody would have cared in that situation that she hit him. So this is why I'm saying that, so we're going to keep, first of all, I would like us to say, kids should not hit, nobody should be hitting anyone. Yes, I don't think we should just make the emphasis be boys shouldn't hit girls. I think we should be teaching our kids that it is not right for you to put your hands on anyone. Totally Use your words. If you want to insult or want to insult each other or want to shout, yell or whatever, but no one should raise their hand to anybody else. Don't put your hand on anyone else. But then especially for the boys, even if you're hit, it's not so much that there are no circumstances under which you should hit back, but it will always be a lose-lose situation for you because you're in that moment of anger, you cannot control your strength, and you're probably going to, even if it's she pushed you and you push her back, you push her and she'll go flying across the room. And then you'll break her arm or something, and you're going to get, whether it's expelled, arrested, or whatever it is. So I guess I wanted to say, I don't know if it's necessarily productive to tell people there are no circumstances, there's never any reason to hit any woman. There might be, but don't do it anyway. Just walk away or whatever. But on this flip side, I also want to tell girls, like, don't. I was
just going to say,
because I actually am one of those people who, in my teenage temper issues days, really? I've slapped a number of people in the face. I won't even lie. Like 3 or 4. Whoa. I even stabbed somebody once. Yeah. And
my face is like
I know. And all these things, in retrospect, I did with full confidence that nobody was gonna hit me back or anything like that, and none of them ever did either.
Because I guess in a way, because you know in the back of your mind that boys are supposed, you feel like, okay, I can do this and sort of get away with it.
You know that you can
nobody's gonna hit you,
and the repercussions will be, So I guess I'm kind of speaking from personal experience as well.
Right.
That I got away with it scot-free, if you will, hitting whoever I wanted because I felt like they did something wrong to me, and I just whatever. And I probably, at that time, if anyone had hit me, I'd have been so like, how could you do that?
Yes.
How could you hit me?
Exactly.
But after I just finished hitting them,
you,
right? And people around would have probably beaten up the guy for me.
That's the thing, even though you initiated that.
Exactly. So I'm saying, let's not take advantage of the fact that we know that men have been socialized not to hit us.
Yeah.
And also, also know that it's not right for us to put hands on them either.
Exactly.
And then for the guys, whatever happens, just walk away. I'm here to tell you, but it's never going to be because there's absolutely no justification. I think that's a bit unfair. And maybe you are justified, but you cannot, under any circumstances, do it.
Just walk away.
Yeah, I guess my final 2 pieces is let's change the phrase from boys should never hit girls to nobody should ever hit anybody.
Yeah,
that's those are my 2 pesos.
Beautiful. That's a good one.
Was that too much?
No, that wasn't too much. That's fine. Okay. I actually really enjoyed that. So you did what? You stabbed who?
With dividers.
What?
In the chest.
Were they bleeding?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a boyfriend of mine. Shout outs to you, Charlie. The love was deep because he didn't leave me or anything.
No, he didn't.
He was like, "Why did you do that?" I'm like, "Cause you made me mad." What else?
My word.
And he just took the dividers out and sat somewhere quietly for like 2 days.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, "Does it hurt?" And he's like, "You're so annoying." Of course, I felt bad immediately after. I'm like, oh my God, I stabbed him in the chest with dividers, and they stuck there too. And he's like, yeah, can we not? Don't be of me. Don't be of me.
No, you're not like that anymore.
No, I'm not.
Fine. Yeah,
I just use my words to ether you now. I don't touch it.
No dividers, just words.
No dividers, just words.
Right. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Right.
All right. So
so that's it for episode 2.
Episode 2. Woo! All right. Till next time.
Bye. Oh, before I forget, my sister said she wanted me to say hi. So hi, Akofa.
Hi, Akof.
All right then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed the episode and you're listening to us on any of our platforms, please give us a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe, and we'd also love for you to share this episode with your friends. Let's continue the conversation. We'd like to hear your feedback. Information on how to reach us on our website can be found in the description.